All right, screens are off. The one thing that I can turn off the lights. I can turn off, my TV screen, my computer screen, my phone screen.
Mm-hmm.
I can close the blinds. I can wear a sleep mask.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I personally, and I think other people have a struggle with, is turning off like their mind or turning off their body, right? You're either fidgety or you're always thinking about what's happening the next day.
Yeah.
This is part of the behavioral therapy part of it. So how do we solve, I guess the word would be restlessness as a blanket term.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, what is the clinical description of restlessness, and how do we solve that in this day and age of people who are just always plugged in?
Yeah, we are always plugged in. Well, this is where I like to get out my elastic band for the elastic band theory.
Okay. Let's go. I mean, we're on video, so yeah. So that works as well.
Try like this. So imagine you've started your day and you've got your elastic band.
Okay.
And you've got up, your alarm's gone off, and you've had a terrible night's sleep, so you've got some tension on the elastic band.
I see.
And then you're rushing to work, you're running a bit late, you're stuck in traffic, there's more tension on the elastic band. And then when you get in, there's a meeting you've forgotten about, you haven't prepared for. You get the idea. As you go throughout the day, the elastic band has so much tension on it. And then, you get back from work and perhaps you want to work out or you want to be with your children or whatever. It's go, go, go from the second you wake up until finally you get into bed and your head hits the pillow and suddenly there's no distraction. There's no telly. There's no smartphone. There's no child asking for something. There's no work. And anything that you wanted or needed to reflect on from the day, you're going to be completely flooded with. Like, oh my God, I forgot to pay the electricity bill. Oh, it's my mum's birthday tomorrow. I haven't sent anything. That's when it's all going to come in. So the trick is having a pre-bedtime wind down is very important. Don't get me wrong. But actually, throughout the day, it's also really important to have little check-ins, just little breathers. Breathing is one specifically.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a big believer in certain breathing techniques as well, depending on how much time you have as well, just like 5 minutes or even just a minute to sit without a phone or any distraction. Take a walk around the block if you can and just be in your own mind without your phone. Because I think a lot of people take a break and they're like,
I see.
Oh, I'm relaxing now, I'll just get my phone out, and then they scroll. Right? That's not being in your head.
Oh, man, it hits because number one, I definitely have realized myself as a person who forgot how to be bored, right? Where I can't just sit alone with my thoughts. And if I ever do that, if I ever can take a walk and go outside and not have my phone, I used to do it more often than I do now. But I actually really like the idea of like just shutting off for a bit and then getting back to it, to whatever is in your day. What you're saying is, because of all that tension on that band, and you can't just expect for that to dissipate the moment you put your head down on the pillow. Especially if you're giving yourself the pressure, like, all right, if I fall asleep right now, I got 8 hours of sleep. And then you look at your watch again. If I fall asleep right now, I got 7 hours and 15 minutes. And it just keeps winding down. And that pressure, that band never actually really loses its tension, because now everything from the day is stuck in your head with all these different things. So you need to give yourselves, I mean, if you put a number to it, how often in the day, roughly, should we have those little mini check-ins, even for 1 to 5 minutes?
Okay, so starting the day, if you can, then I would try and take a breather before you even go to work, if you can. I know it's a crazy time getting yourself ready. And then 1 in the morning, 1 at lunchtime, 1 in the afternoon, and then throughout the evening. And it, like exactly as you just said, 1 to 5 minutes is fine. And depending on how much time you have would depend on what breathing technique I would suggest to do.
Okay.
I find the most effective one is the 4-7-8. Have you heard of that?
No, describe that.
So you're breathing in for 4, holding for 7, out for 8. And you want to do a good 5 minutes of that. And that one's great. I find it wonderful. I tell a lot of my clients to use that one.
The one that I do know because of the shape is the box breathing.
Oh, yes, the box breathing.
So how does box... Because right now, it's, to me, the differences are the numbers, right? Because, in, hold, out is like 4, 4, 4, 4.
Yes.
So 4, 7, 8, for you in particular, why does that work well for you?
I just find it relaxes me so much easier. I also do box breathing as well, and I think for some people that was quite good because you can visualize it too, just like you're saying, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. It's
basically whatever works best for your brain and kind of your habits.
That's right.
As long as you're doing that.
Yeah, and also remember, you need to take 3 deep breaths for it to register to your nervous system. So you need to take at least 3.
Oh.
Yeah, but ideally 5 minutes for that one, if you can.
Got it.
If you have less than a minute, and this is one that I do before I'm presenting and I've got like the jitters and I'm a bit like nervous, is left nostril breathing. Okay. Have you heard of that?
No, I also didn't see you do it before the podcast, so you definitely were not stressed before this.
You didn't see me stood outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you just put your thumb over your right nostril and then you just breathe normally.
All right, hold on, let's try this. Okay, walk me through this.
It's not great if you've got a cold.
It's fine. We'll work it out.
So you just hold your thumb over your right nostril.
And
just breathe normally through your left one. Doesn't have to be deep, just normally.
Oh, okay.
You're taking it
I was
very
doing that for the
seriously.
effect for the microphone.
And you
just
only
breathe normally.
Yeah, and you only have to do it for 30 seconds. And the reason is you're breathing directly into your parasympathetic system, which is what grounds you.
Okay.
So it's like your moon, your parasympathetic. Your sympathetic system is like your sun. So it's like your alertness, your daytime. Yeah. So that's why it works so well. If you've got a bit longer, you can do alternate nostril breathing, but I just like to keep it simple.
Yeah.
5 minutes, do the 4, 7, 8. Less than a minute, do left nostril breathing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how dedicated does this time have to be? For example, probably shouldn't have the TV on, probably shouldn't have something playing in your ear. You should be as kind of cleared out as possible when you're doing this. Even if your kid's in the room or something.
Yeah, that makes it harder.
Like you need to
as well.
basically just get away from as much as you can.
Yeah.
Whatever that means in that moment, and just
take a breather. Yeah. Okay. I think once you've done it for a few days and you've noticed the knock-on, the positive knock-on, that's sort of how you end up, you stick to it, right? Because you know that I'm going to sleep so much better tonight if I can just keep my stress levels in check and my anxiety low, and then I'm going to sleep better.